So did you guys ever think about what it was like to retire? I know you work all these years and you have absolutely no idea what retirement means. Well, that's kind of like where I was for like a really long time, saying, oh, I wish I could retire, I wish I could retire. But then what happened when I actually retired is it actually hit. And it's like everything that I ever thought about, anything that I ever thought about, suddenly came true. And everything came true. And that was just wonderful. I could do whatever I wanted.
I'm getting married, and not in a very usual way. I'm actually planning my wedding from overseas. Getting married in Brazil. My whole family is there, so is my fiancés. And I'm currently living in the US. So do you know how hard it is to plan a wedding? How many things are involved? How much stress? Oh my gosh, being a bride is not an easy task.
Mortality. You can't get away from it. You don't understand it until you age a little bit. A lot of people say once their parents die, they start to understand about it. My parents died many years ago, and I still didn't understand it. But now that I'm into my 60s, and I see people my age dying, and dying from natural causes, it starts to catch up with you a little bit. I'm not saying that I'm stuck on death, I'm not saying that at all. But there are little things about death that really concern me. What it's actually like to die. Do you ever really think about that? What does it feel like to actually take your last breath? You know what really scares me? That there's a spot in the world that I will die, and I don't know where that spot is. It's no different than there's a spot that you're born. And everybody says, well, you're born to die, and that's the way the world works. But it doesn't necessarily work that way because we have brains, we have thoughts, we have lives, we have loved ones, we have everything in our lives. And the thing that probably concerns me the most is that once I'm dead, I'll never be able to go out in the morning and see the beautiful sun on a beautiful day and hear the birds chirping and the squirrels running around. And that really concerns me. And a little thing like that really concerns me.
In my retirement, travel was one of the things that I always wanted to do, and because I have all this time to do the travel, it was just really, really good, okay? It's not like nothing was rushed. I could do and go anywhere that I want, and we actually did that. We actually are doing that, going out and seeing the world and actually enjoying ourselves without that rush of having to get back and that feeling that you would have coming back that you have to go to work the next day. Nothing like that in retirement. Retirement is wonderful.
As a bride, you gotta pick the flowers, the food, the drinks, the decoration, the wedding favors. You gotta think about everything, the guests. And you know, although my fiance is amazing, I love you, baby. You know, guys, they don't really help you out that much. So the bride has to do most of the things. And I'm also really thankful for my family. They have been a huge help. My mom especially, my grandma, they're helped me even from Brazil. But I'm having to make all my decisions, and all of that during a PhD.
Our daughter Anna graduated from high school just the other day. And I was most concerned about her losing her little talus on her hat. And my wife even questioned me, why are you so worried about that little thing? But the fact of the matter is, when I graduated high school, I threw my hat in the air and never thought, I threw it too high, and never thought that I wouldn't be able to retrieve it. And I remember throwing it up and never getting it back, and I asked everybody around me, somebody stole my hat. Why would I be bringing this up now, so many years later, and making sure that my daughter didn't lose hers? Because I lost mine, and it affected me in a little way my whole life. It really bothered me, not so much that I was going to make a big deal out of it, but it bothered me. So I made sure, when we were at her graduation, I made sure, and I checked several times, make sure you have that little talus thing. Don't lose it, because I lost mine and it really bothered me.
Another thing that came up for me in retirement was helping others. And the way that I could do that was to take on something that I always really enjoyed, and that was doing fitness. Not only just doing fitness, but teaching fitness was a good way of giving back to everybody. And so what I did is I went out and I got certified, and then I started teaching and helping people to actually improve their health, improve their minds, and actually get them out there and move. And not only was it good for them, but it was also good for me, because if I'm in a good mood and they're in a good mood, we're all in a better space.
I've always been very passionate about science and studying. I always liked studying, especially biology and chemistry, but I never really envisioned myself as a future PhD. Honestly, I never envisioned myself staying in academia, working as a professor, but here I am, you know, we never know what the future holds. And so currently I'm studying my PhD in molecular genetics at Rutgers University in New Jersey, and in a collaboration with Harvard Medical School in Boston. So I'm currently living in Boston, and this has been a very challenging period of time in my life. Studying a PhD is not easy. I knew it wasn't going to be easy from the beginning, but I think it is more challenging than anything I could ever possibly imagine. There's so much pressure coming from every possible angle, especially from within. I'm my main enemy, I would say. I always try to be my best version, and sometimes I just can't, and I suffer a lot with that. So we gotta be the best, we gotta publish the best papers, the best journals, and it's not easy for sure.
Having our daughter graduate like this is both rewarding at the same time and troubling. I love my daughter very much, as you would think, and I'm so proud of her, but I'm scared to death that she'll be leaving the house. I'm scared to death that that girl, that little baby that we brought home from the hospital about 18 years ago, is going to go out and step out onto her own and go to school. I'm scared to death that she won't have us there to protect her. And all we have now with her is all the information and all the knowledge that we passed on. We've often said, both my wife and I, to our daughter, we've given you the tools to live your life. Now every decision is up to you.
So what is it like to really be happy? Does anybody really know what it's like to really, really be happy? Well, let me tell you what I think is happy. Happy is finding yourself, digging deep inside, and finding yourself and finding where you want to be and actually understanding who you are. And guess what? Sometimes that happens only when you can actually set aside and understand that you are now retired and you can be who you are, when you want, where you are, forever, for the rest of your life. And that's where I am right now.
Changes. They can be pretty exciting, but they're also really, really hard and challenging. They help you grow. They help you overcome your own fears, your own obstacles. And I have had to deal with so many changes during my life. Moving countries, moving abroad multiple times, and right now getting married, I think, is the main challenge of all. Although I'm really passionate about my fiance, and we've been together for so many years, and he's the most incredible person I've ever met and my best friend, I still have, my own questions. It's pretty challenging. How is it going to be after being single for 30 years, never live with, him before? How is it going to be? How is our routines are going to be? Are we going to make it, and have a happy life? Or are we going to fight over little things? I don't know. I hope we can make it. So having to deal with changes has been a constant in my life. And so far I've done well. So I hope I can also succeed in this new challenge that I'm very excited about. Throughout my whole life, there has been one absolute constant, that was God. So I was raised in a religious family. I always believed in God, and He has shown in so many ways during my whole life His presence. He saved me once from a near-death experience, and I have I've had so many experience with God, and not religion, but God is so important in my life. I don't think I could be here if it wasn't for him and the strength and the support that I know he gives me. I can feel it every day. Right now, where I am in Boston and studying where I am, I know I don't really believe in coincidences, and I think everything happens for a reason. And I know that God was the one who opened this door for me to be where I am right now. And actually, I found an amazing church that I'm going now. That is the corner of where I'm living, and I know that is also not a coincidence. And I have been feeling God much closer, and I'm trying to grow in intimacy with him. And I know I'm only who I am, and I couldn't succeed in everything I have succeeded in life if it wasn't for his strength in my life.
So I still have quite a few years ahead of me, at least I hope. The question is now, how do I spend the rest of my life? True, I'm retired. True, I'm busy, and I'm working a little bit, which I really enjoy doing. I'm volunteering. But how do I spend, quote, my golden years now? Okay, so there's all these changes really add up. And if I can say anything to my future Gary, I would say finally, slow down, take the time, and really smell the roses along the way.
So what do I say to my future self? My goodness, what I say to my future self is, you're already there. This is your future. Enjoy it.
So what should I say to my future self? Future Rafaela from 4, 5, 10 years from now. How was your wedding? Did everything go well as you planned, as you dreamed so much? Oh my gosh, I really hope it did. How is your marriage? Are you guys still in love? Is he still your best friend? I hope you guys are doing amazing. How are the babies? Did you guys have any babies? How long did it take? How was the pregnancy? Oh gosh, I hope everything went really well. How was your PhD defense? You were so nervous as of now, 2024. Oh gosh, you were so nervous about it. So much to be done, so many papers to publish still. I hope you're able to do it, everything you were supposed to. And I hope you had a very successful PhD defense. And now everybody calls you Dr. Rafaela or Dr. Limoni. That's it, future Rafaela. Let's talk in a few years.